Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to talk about blaming the protocol over blaming a person. So this is a question that I got asked from one of my students who's learning from me as a tennis player and also as a tennis coach to help his students better and serve his clients in a higher capacity. And I'm going to relate it to you as a tennis player, but it's also important to understand it as a tennis coach as well and from the business side. So when some type of challenge arises, people are very quick to blame the person, right? Say someone's working for you, right? Or say, you're a tennis player and you hit a bad shot or you lose a match. It's easy to blame the person, to blame yourself, right? To blame whoever was responsible for making the error, right? For that error to occur, right? And for whatever circumstances occurred to make that happen, right? So instead of blaming the person, you want to blame the protocol, right? So let's say you just lost your tournament and you wanted to win it and you were feeling really exhausted, really fatigued. And going into the match, you knew that you really didn't have any energy, right? So you knew that you wouldn't be able to perform at a very high level, right? You grinded through your matches, you tried your best, you were trying to stick to your strategies, but it wasn't enough and you lost your tournament. Okay, so you can blame your forehand, you can blame your backhand, you can blame certain strategies, whatever. But the first thing to do before that is blame the protocol, right? What was the protocol that you followed? And what did you have clearly systematized in your life to prevent you being too fatigued going into your tournament? Was the challenge that you just weren't in good enough shape? Or was it that you didn't prepare enough and your protocol needs improvement? So that's one specific example, top of mind. One of my players in a tournament who came to visit me this past weekend, that was something that he was kind of dealing with, a different player. And yeah, I think that it's really important to blame the protocol first, because there's a lot of things that you can avoid and there's a lot of things that you can do to not make that same mistake again, right? So the first thing that you want to do is blame the protocol, and then what's going to happen is you blame the protocol, right? You're going to continuously modify the protocol. So it's not just one protocol. You have to continuously iterate, modify, and improve your systems as a player. Okay? So let's kind of relate this more now to the business side, right? To the coaching side, to you as a mentor, right? And to you as a business owner and an entrepreneur. So you need to blame not the person, but the protocol. So what was the protocol that you followed? What's the example? Let's come up with an example. So for your business, something happened, right? Let's say, you're trying to, you're trying to sign up more students, and for some reason you're not able to sign up students or something, right? It's like, okay, or you're not getting any clients organically in your business, right? For lessons or whatever it is, right? For your online program. Okay, well, it's easy to blame either yourself, the person, for X, Y, and Z. Let's say let's say like your editor or something messes up a video for you, right? Just as an example. Blaming the person would be, okay, well, my editor, it's their fault. It's their problem, right? But in reality, it's like, well, what did I do to make sure, and what systems did I have in place to make sure that it's going to come out exactly how I want? And what systems do I have in place to ensure that that problem isn't going to happen again? Because if Joe over there, who wants to edit my videos, tried and then they messed something up and misrepresented me, did I give them clarity on how to represent me? Or did I not? Right? So it's not to say that people don't make mistakes and people shouldn't be held accountable for that. Hi. But it's more so about, it's not just about that. It's about looking to see that, did I do something explicit to actually instruct this person on how to do X, Y, or Z? And is there something that we can modify for our protocol so that it doesn't happen again? And so that in the future, you can make sure that that never happens again with that person or whatever thing happened, right? So let's relate it back to that example about the tennis player, right? Who plays this tournament, feels fatigued, feels drained. They can't move their feet as fast now, and they're feeling it, right? They're feeling how it's not great. So what I would do is look back at the protocol. Okay, what was my sleep like? Okay. I have a few of my students use a device called the Whoop. It helps track heart rate variability, which is the #1 metric to track recovery. So if you're getting a lot of injuries or you're just not feeling recovered, I highly recommend getting the Whoop. You like buy the thing, and then like there's like a subscription, I think, monthly for that. But great device, and you can use that to track your sleep, right? Your recovery score and all that. So that's the best tool to use for that, if you want to know. So by the way, with that's just one factor, right? So you check your sleep, you track your sleep, and when you look at your sleep, you're going to be able to say, okay, what was my protocol? All right, did I have to stay up really late for homework some night? Did I have to, stay up for some event or something like that? Like, what was going on, right? Like, what was my sleep like? Okay. Now that's one thing that you can systematize and program and kind of make more efficient in your schedule. But you look at that, that's just one example, right? You're going to look at other things that have to do with your recovery, right? So what was your strain going into your tournament? So with the Whoop, there's a strain score. So it's like, well, what was your score daily? And what did you do in those days? Did you do something out of the norm, like fitness wise? Did you do everything normal, right? That's going to determine whether it's the same or it's something that you can modify and tweak for later, right? So what I recommend is first checking that component, the sleep. Then I would check the physical strain that you put and what was your inputs with that. And then I would look at my nutrition, okay? But the big ticket items for that particular example, because the player was not necessarily like recovered enough and felt a little bit drained, what I identified was they basically got killed in practice when they were back home midweek, and it kind of threw off the recovery, and there were no off days, right? So it was a kind of a two-factor thing. Number one, there was a major, not normal increase in the fitness that person was doing during the week. And then also, they played a tournament the weekend before and never took a rest day, never took a recovery day. So that coupled with the lack of, there was also a little bit lack of sleep as well in that equation. But yeah, those were kind of like the 2 to 3 main factors that went in for that. So basically what you can do from there is you identify certain things, and then you can adjust your programming in your systems, whether your sleep systems, whether your nutrition systems, right? Whatever you got, you want to modify that and tweak it, right? So let's say like maybe for another athlete, it was a nutritional thing. You can then look at, okay, well, was I eating something before that made me feel slow as shit out there, right? Maybe. But you can take a look at that. And that's just a little factor there, but just gives you some kind of perspective on that. So yeah, I mean, when you're going through your day-to-day and you're encountering problems, it's like, okay, was it a process issue or was it a person issue? You know, especially as you start hiring people, as you start kind of, you know, so let's say you hire another coach with you. Let's say you have someone working for you, you know, on whatever capacity. There's going to be stuff that's not perfect, right? So you need to do your best to make sure that the athlete or the person working for you has all the tools they need to succeed. And when they mess up, right? Let's say they send something out and it isn't what you want and it loses you business or something. I don't know. Like, I'm just giving some random example. Like, did you give specific instructions on what to do and how to ensure that that doesn't happen? If you didn't explicitly do that, it's probably something that you could have fixed if your protocol was better, right? So if you want to kind of maximize yourself as a person and also maximize your business, it's going to help to look at the protocols, because then you can systematize things and then it's very easy to track and stay accountable. And then there's no like guessing, there's no like, oh, like what's going on? There's no like mental games with that stuff. It's just like, look at it. Look, what's the result? Okay, great. What was the protocol? Cool, awesome. And if you don't have protocols, well, that's another issue, right? Probably should start establishing some if you want to serve your clients to the best of your ability, you know? So I hope that helps. Hope it gives some insight onto kind of what that means. But yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just blame the protocol first before you blame the person, right? Because like, you want to improve, right? You want to fix that. And look, sometimes it could be a people issue, right? It could be something that is a people issue, but more often than not, it's going to be a protocol. So fix the protocol. And yeah, guys, I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know you can achieve your goals. I know you can achieve your dreams. Make the sacrifices today, guys, to hit your goals. Don't be afraid to make content. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to be confident in who you are and what you want to do. Just fucking do it, bro. Just fucking do it. You got it, man. See you in the next one. Take care.